Welcome to a comfortable evening here at Foothill College in Los Altos Hills, California, where tonight we have a rivalry game for you. It's the Los Altos Eagles playing the Mountain View Spartans. Hi again, everybody. I am Andrew Fury, and welcome to another telecast here on KMVT. Los Altos comes in with an 0-2 record, having been outscored 123-8 in their first two games. Now, that being said, they played a great competition to this point, playing Santa Clara and Sacred Heart Prep. So, Los Altos looking to get their first win of the game and playing against their arch rivals, the Mountain View Spartans, coming in with a record of 1-1. And the common opponent between the two, Mountain View, also lost to Sacred Heart Prep by a final score of 27-3. So this is a rivalry game, and as we know in these rivalry games, a lot can happen, and they are very unpredictable. Should be a great game here tonight, as we remind you that this game is brought to you by KMVT's All Sports presenting sponsors, the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, part of the Sutter Health Network. Choose your PAMF doctor today, and by Home Instead Senior Care. Home Instead provides the personalized in-home care your loved one needs. Home Instead, to them, it's personal.
Ever since we moved to the United States, Palo Alto Medical Foundation has been taking care of our health. We love our doctor. She is always ready to listen to us and is very professional and answers all our questions and is very reassuring. PAMF has been there not just for my own family, but for the whole community, whether they're seeing patients or providing doctors for our free medical clinic.
Ever since Dad died, taking care of Mom is overwhelming. I can't do it on my own.
Sure, my mother needs me, but I just want to be a daughter again.
Mom wants to stay in her home, but needs more help than ever. It just can't be me all the time.
Struggling to care for an aging parent? You're not alone. Learn how Home Instead Senior Care can provide the personalized in-home care your loved one needs. Home Instead. To us, it's personal.
We're ready to get this game underway with Los Altos kicking off to Mountain View. Marcus Jones and Anthony Avery waiting back deep for the Spartans, and we are underway. It's a short pooch punt picked up by one of the up men, Austin Johnson, and he goes down almost immediately at the 29-yard line. Los Altos won the toss, elected to defer their option to the second half, so that's why Mountain View starts this game with the ball. Mountain View coming in at 1-1 overall. Los Altos at 0-2. But it's a rivalry game. Anything can happen. And this is the first league game for each team. It will be Will Fisher-Colbury to come out, this senior quarterback for Mountain View, after getting the play call from his head coach and offensive coordinator, Torrey Carter. Fisher-Colbury coming over center on this first play. I formation in the backfield. Marcus Jones is the deep running back with Chad Schomburg, the fullback. And they give it to Jones coming off left side on a fullback lead. Makes a man miss, cuts it outside at the 30, breaks another tackle across the 35 and gets swung down at the 36. What almost looked like it was going to go for a 1-yard gain turns out to be 7, and it'll bring up 2nd and 3. That time was nothing more than a fullback lead off of left tackle. And as Jones didn't get much help from his blockers, as you saw Schomburg, the fullback, just whiff on one of the linebackers for Los Altos. And so that run of 7 yards was all done by Marcus Jones, the running back. Had to elude a couple tacklers and did well to gain 7 after what looked like just a 1 or 2 yard gain. Now Austin Johnson is the flanker wide receiver out to the right. Fisher-Colbury over center. Play action fake, Fisher-Colbury to throw, under pressure, and goes down, back at the 25-yard line. That is big Dimitri Twembois with the sack, a loss of 11. It will bring up 3rd down and 14, and absolutely no chance for Fisher-Colbury. After the play fake to Jones, he had Twembois right in his hip pocket immediately. And so instead of risking a throw and an interception or a fumble, Fisher-Colbury had to just take the sack. Bad job of blocking by his right tackle and right guard, his entire right side of his offensive line. Now to the shotgun on 3rd and 14 from their own 25. Bad snap, handled by Fisher Colbury, going deep down the right sideline. Has a man out there, and it is a leaping grab made by Anthony Avery. I believe. Now what are the officials going to signal? It is a catch at the 45 of Los Altos. Avery with the play of the game so far. You'll see Fisher Colbury wanted to run the flanker streak deep down the right sideline, and he threw it into double coverage. Avery beat the cornerback, Luis Mello, and then the free safety came over, and Victor Ruiz tried to high point the football, but it was brought out of the air by Avery. A great athletic catch made by Avery. And a big pickup of 30 yards. Now handoff to Schoenberg, the fullback, as a flag flies in. He gets swung down at the 39-yard line, a gain of 6 if it stands, but it appears it will not stand. Looks like it's going to be coming back with holding against Mountain View, thrown right in that area. Not holding, but it's a chop block, so that's even worse for Mountain View. It will be 15 yards from the previous spot instead of 10, which would holding would be. A chop block's basically when a defender is engaged up top and another offensive player cuts him below the knees. So that will be a chop block every time. The reason they have that rule in football is because it's dangerous to the defensive player or any player that gets chop blocked that way, because it switches momentum, and you see a lot of ACL and MCL injuries from that chop block. So that's why it's the 10-yard penalty, actually, back to the 45 of Los Altos. And back to pass is Fisher Colbury. He'll throw deep down the left side of the time, has a man out there, and a juggling drop. Avery had it, he juggled it, and then dropped it incomplete. It will bring up 2nd and 20. You'll see 2 backs in the backfield, and Colbury makes another terrific pass, this time deep down the left sideline, and Avery, who made the fantastic catch a moment ago, drops that one in what should have been a 20 to 30-yard gain. So far, Avery has made the tough catches and has dropped the easier one. Fisher Colbury out of the shotgun on 2nd and 20. And motion goes Schoenberg. It's a quarterback, or actually Wildcat. Here's Jones. Makes a man miss and then spun down. So that time Fisher Colbury lined up as a wide receiver, and Jones, the running back, was in there at quarterback. Ran the draw out of the Wildcat formation and gets dropped in midfield. A 5-yard gain. It'll bring up 3rd and 15. You'll see Jones out of the Wildcat. That's a play that a lot of college teams like to run, the Wildcat with the flanker sweep fake, keeping it to the running back. And when you have an explosive running back like Marcus Jones is for the Spartans, that can be a very effective play, but Los Altos was able to sniff out that play and limit it to a 5-yard gain. Now it's 3rd and 15 from midfield. They converted a 3rd and 15 a moment ago. Now Colbury deep down the right side, the man wide open, caught by Austin Johnson at the 20-yard line. A pickup of 30 yards. Right now, Fisher Colbury's in a groove. He just took the pass, heaved it down sideline, but a bad job of Luis Mello. He got beat on the pump fake. Instead of playing back, knowing that Mountain View needed 15 yards for the first down, he bit on the pump fake. On the fake slant, it was a pump and go. Fisher Colbury went back to pass, and then after Mello was beat, it was an easy pitch and catch to Austin Johnson. A 30-yard pickup there in the red zone for the first time in this game. At the 20, Fisher Colbury over center. They give it on the sweep to Jones. A big run, lots of running on the left side, cuts inside to the 10, breaks a tackle to the 5, side snaps, spins, touchdown, Mountain View. What a run by Marcus Jones. This is a highlight reel run for Jones. You'll see it's a sweep. He had a big lane, good blocking, but that makes a one-man miss. You'll see right there, 2, another stiff arm, and then a spin, and he gets in. Made 4 men miss. A poor job of angles that time for Los Altos. A lot of tackling in football is angles. Los Altos whiffed on the angles and thus whiffed on the tackles, and that's why Jones was able to get a 20-yard run out of it and a touchdown. Extra point is good. And so, with 8:24 to go in the first quarter, it's Mountain View 7, Los Altos nothing. So with 8:24 to go in the first quarter, it's Mountain View in front, 7-0. A very impressive 79-yard drive or make that 71-yard drive on their first possession of the game. Now Los Altos is going to get the ball for the first time, trying to answer the touchdowns just scored a moment ago by Mountain View. Capping off that touchdown drive was Marcus Jones with an incredible 20-yard touchdown run, most of which was done by Jones himself. Now Chauncey Neiman has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, which is where high school kicks off from. Neiman waiting for something. I guess the whistle to blow from one of the officials. The deep band is Kayan Ayat for Los Altos. And the right-footed Neiman kicks into this one. He comes down to Ayat at the 8. He brings it up the right side to the 15, cuts, trying to reverse field across the 20, had to block, and now gets swung down at the 30, a 22-yard return. So Ayat had a great return with a block, as here is the Mountain View schedule. So you look at their first two games, come off opener against Sacred Heart, very good football team, lost 27-3, but then rebounded in a game at Burlingame. Could have been a tricky game, and they squeezed out a 30-27 win. From here, they play Santa Clara, a very good team, then at Milpitas and Los Gatos in the next 3 weeks. So 2 winnable games in Milpitas and Los Gatos next week for Mountain View. Going to be very tough against Santa Clara, who's a very good football team. One wide receiver to each side, and Landman hands off the fullback, not much, out to the 33-yard line. So Lambie Landman is the senior quarterback that starts for Los Altos. First play of the game, picks up just 2 yards. So we'll bring up 2nd and 8. 2nd and 8. You'll see a very different offense from Los Altos than Mountain View runs. A lot of more triple option runs, a lot of runs. They'll mix in a few passes, but they're generally a running team. Now jumping off sides and making contact is a guy that's hard to miss. Big number 90, Adam Lange, gets the offsides here, so that will help Los Altos move them 5 yards closer to the first down and bring up 2nd and 3. So that's a difficult mistake and a bad mistake for the Spartans. They're really their first mistake of this ball game thus far. 7.5 minutes to play in the first quarter. Landman over center. And we have movement, but no whistles blown. Rolling is Landman and then just has to heave it out of bounds. That was an ugly play from the start. But Los Altos also got away with a false start. They had about 3 men on the right side of the line move early. And it wasn't even close, but the officials never blew the flag. So it goes incomplete, and it will bring up 3rd and 3 from the 37. Now we have a conference. Now we have a conference between the officials, because initially they let the play run and no flag was thrown, but did they throw one after the play? Because in that case, they have to accept the penalty. It's a pre-snap penalty. It would be 2nd and 8 by default instead of 3rd and 3. But now, Los Altos is ready to go. They're ready with the 3rd down play. The official's not letting them get started. Thinking about it. And now they're going to back them up. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 from the 32. After they belatedly called the false start penalty. But it was the right call. It was obviously, they had 3 Los Altos players to pick from. Interesting. So apparently they're not calling a false start. They're calling intentional grounding. I assumed. So that actually works to the benefit of Mountain View. It will bring up, because of the loss of down, 3rd and 11 from their own 27 after the intentional grounding penalty. So that was a bad play all the way around for Los Altos. Now Landman has to heave one down the right sideline. Has him out there, and it's caught. What a throw and catch. And Landman got drilled. Victor Ruiz with the catch. You'll see Landman back to pass, had pressure immediately, hung in there nicely. That's what you like to see from a quarterback, being able to stay under pressure, take the hit, take one for the team, and throw a perfect strike down the far sideline to Victor Ruiz, who brings it in. Ruiz's first catch of the game. It's all the way down to the 42 of Mountain View, 1st and 10, full house backfield. And they give it to the running back coming right and eluding a tackler being dropped as Matt Kleiman. One of the fullbacks in that play was a fullback counter. And just to get couple yards on first down, not a whole lot, pick up a 3, it will bring up 2nd and 7. Some substitutions defensively now for the Spartans, as Los Altos trying to answer the touchdown drive a moment ago by the Spartans. First possession of the game for Los Altos. Now going out wide to the left side is Pena Prado. And then fake to Kleiman this time, hand off to the running back off the left side. Cutting inside now is Trembois. Dimitri Trembois down to the 35. A solid gain of 5, and that'll bring up 3rd and 2. So what Los Altos has just done is, with 2 simple running plays, not much scheme to it at all, just trying to get a couple yards here, a couple yards there, they've set up a very manageable 3rd down. Now it's just 3rd and 2. Now a run is still possible for them to call, instead of 3rd and 11 a moment ago where you knew it was pass all the way. Now a full house backfield, and they hand off to Kleiman, and I don't think he got it. He got shut down close to the 1st down marker across the 35-yard line, but he needed the 33 for a first. Where do they mark it? Wow. Are they going to? They can't give him that spot. That's a very generous spot. Didn't look like he got that far. But he's still going to be short, even with that spot. It's going to be 4th down and about half a yard. They're going to go for it, or at least it appears that way. It's definitely too far to attempt a field goal. And down by 7, they're going to go for it. 4th and half a yard. Landman, hands off the gut. Second effort, he got it. He got it on second effort. They brought in a defensive lineman, Paul Hernandez, with the carry, and he was able to get it. You'll see initially he stopped, but because of his fortitude and his go after it, he was determined to get the 1st down no matter what. And after he was initially stopped in the backfield, he bounced off that tackle, made another man miss, and then got the 1st down. Terrific run by Hernandez. That's a fresh set of downs for Los Altos. Landman over center. Pena Prado, the lone wide receiver, out to the left side. Landman tosses, coming right to Kleiman. Now wants to cut back and cross the grain and nowhere to go on. Excellent gap assignment that time by Mountain View, dropping him at the 35-yard line. The loss of 3 will bring up 2nd and 13. Responsible for the tackle was Sam Parker, the 6'1", 205-pound senior from right in Mountain View, California. You'll see Kleiman got the toss, but there was nowhere for him to run because none of the blocks got put on by his offensive lineman. So that's less Kleiman's fault and more of the right side of the offensive line's fault. He did the best he could, but still lost 3 yards. 2nd and 13 coming up. Out of the shotgun goes Landman. Split wide receivers to either side. And in the backfield is Trembois, the lone running back. A high snap, Landman back to pass. Under pressure now, steps up, rolls right. Looks like he wants to run and then slips and falls. I don't know if he intentionally slid to avoid a big hit or if he just slipped and fell. But he loses 3 yards in either case, and that will bring up 3rd and 16. Let's see, the snap was a little high to begin with, but then he had pressure in the backfield, and on that replay, it kind of looked like he just went down voluntarily. Not that he slipped, because he went into that feet-first slide, which a lot of quarterbacks will do to avoid a big hit. And maybe some of that was due to the major hit he took on a pass earlier in this drive. That was a big completion to Ruiz. I do not know. But Landman didn't try to fight for any extra yards, took the loss of 2, and it'll bring up 3rd and 15. Landman out of shotgun. This is probably going to be a pass. And it is. Lamb back to pass. Throws it to the left flat. It is complete to Pena Prado, who then fumbles the ball. And it's picked up by Mountain View. Brings it back the other way to the 40. Across midfield. He's still running with it. It's Marcus Jones to the 30. To the 25. Spun down at the 21-yard line. What a return! A fumble recovery by Marcus Jones, and then he returns it 54 yards to the 21 of Los Altos. Pena Prado got the tackle, and it did come out before his body hit the ground. You'll see on that replay, he was on top of the defender that had the responsibility for covering him, and as long as you're not touching the ground physically, you're not down. An excellent call by the referee, not blowing the whistle dead, and allowing the fumble to ensue, and it was picked up by Jones and returned to the 20. Now a toss play to Schomburg coming left, has a hole inside the 50, breaks the tackle inside the 10, and cut down at the 6. A gain of 14, first and goal coming up by Mountain View, and what a turn of events in this football game. But Los Altos was driving, had a very good drive going, as you see Schomburg's run of 14 yards, just excellent blocking right there. But Los Altos was driving deep into Mountain View territory, just converted a 4th down on a big 3rd down play. They might have gone for it again on 4th down because they got 9 yards when they needed 14. But the fumble ensues. Jones picks it up, and not only does he recover the fumble, but he returns it all the way to the 20 of Los Altos. Now it's 1st and goal, and a timeout's going to be called by the Eagles. So with 1:55 to go first quarter, it's Mountain View 7 and Los Altos nothing. 7-0 Mountain View with the lead, 1:55 to go in the first quarter. It's 1st and goal Spartans, moving from your left to your right as you watch it on the television screen. 1st and goal at the 6. Over center is Fisher Colbury. This is a big defensive stand for Los Altos. They give it to Jones off the right side, has a block, spins in, touchdown Mountain View. So one play after the timeout, Jones gets his 2nd touchdown run of the game, and it's 13-0 Mountain View. You'll see Jones coming off the right side this time. Very similar play they ran to where Jones got his 1st touchdown run of the night. He got it off the right side, except this time it was from much closer in, so a lot easier run for Jones. He's doing everything right now for the Spartans. He just recovered the fumble a moment ago, returned it for 54 yards. Now the extra point is up and good by Neiman, and 1:52 to go in the quarter. It is 14-0 favor of Mountain View. We head into the waning moments of the first quarter. 14-0 Mountain View with the lead, and you look at the score and you would have to say Mountain View would be dominating if you didn't watch any of this game, but that's not really the case. They got the ball first, scored a touchdown, but then Los Altos had a great drive, drove it deep, just a fumble ended their drive, and then off the turnover, Mountain View scored another touchdown. That's why they lead 2 scores, and this becomes a crucial possession if Los Altos is going to hang in this game and try to pull off the upset at the end. Chauncey Neiman, the kicker and backup quarterback, has the ball teed up and approaches the ball with his right foot. It's an onside kick. It's loose, and who has it? Wow, so they try an onside kick. They pull a Chip Kelly out of the bag, and it's recovered by Mountain View. It works. That surprised everyone in the stadium, including the broadcaster. And so Mountain View has a real opportunity now to put a dagger in the hearts of the Eagles. 1st and 10 at the Los Altos 45 following an onside kick. And their offense has looked flawless thus far. Fisher Colbury coming out of the shotgun. 2 wide receivers, 1 to each side, and a direct snap. This is coming to the right back, Jones, who makes a man miss, makes another man miss. He's breaking loose to the 20, to the 10, makes another man miss. Touchdown, Mountain View. Now they're starting to run away with it. A 1-play, 45-yard drive. I said Jones, that was actually Stephen Lee, a backup running back that ran the Wildcat that time. And he scores from 45 yards out, but there is a flag down. I missed the flag. And they're saying an illegal block in the back against Mountain View. So that wipes away a 45-yard run. But Lee had great blocking and then just made a couple of misses and scored the touchdown, or what he thought was a touchdown. But Los Altos catches a huge break for a block in the back. And ball is brought back to the 46. It will bring up 1st and 11 now after it's 10 yards from the spot of the foul. A minute 34 to go, first quarter. It's 14-0 in favor of Mountain View. Mountain View trying to pick up their second win in a row after Los Altos comes in 0-2. Fisher Colby out of the shotgun. And they give it on the flanker sweep to the wide receiver inside the 40. Spanking tackles. He's breaking a whole bunch of tackles all the way down to the 30. That's Julian Colladini with the carry. And he picks up 16. Bad job of tackling by Los Altos. Will bring up 1st and 10. Fisher Colbury has played very well in this first quarter for Mountain View. Now they want to take as much time off the clock as possible, although already up by 2 touchdowns against a team that struggles to score sometimes in Los Altos. 1st and 10 at the 30. Pistol formation. Fisher Colbury takes the snap, fakes it to the halfback, and then keeps it on the option with Jones. Should have pitched it, and it gets tackled for no gain as Stephen Lee comes back on for the Spartans. Or make that Frank Myers for the Spartans comes back on. No gain, it will bring up 2nd and 10 for Mountain View. Half a minute to go. Mountain View needs to run at least one more play in this quarter before time can elapse. 2nd and 10 from the 30. 2 touchdown runs in this game for Mountain View, both by Marcus Jones, one of 20 yards and one of 6 yards. Over center goes Fisher Colbury, one wide receiver to each side. And one back in the backfield, it is Jones. Showing blitz are the Eagles. 5 seconds to go, and they hand off to Jones coming to right. Makes a man miss in the backfield. Makes another man miss. Still on his feet. Now comes upfield and gets what he can down into the 25. A gain of 5, and that will end the first quarter. Losing his shoe as well was Jones, but did well to gain 5 yards. Very elusive Marcus Jones is the story of this first quarter, and after 12 minutes of action, Spartans shutting out the Eagles 14-0. Andrew Fury back with you here from Foothill College as we start the second quarter. 14-0 Spartans with the lead. Both teams have switched into the field, and now it will be 3rd and 5 for Mountain View as we start the second quarter. Out of the shotgun goes Fisher Colbury with Marcus Jones on his left hip. And we have whistles. And Mountain View has to call a timeout out of a quarter break. That's a big blow. That should never happen as we look at the Los Altos Eagles schedule. So they got train wrecked in their first 2 games, although against very good competition. Sacred Heart is very good, an outstanding high school football team. They play Mountain View tonight and then have San Benito, Cupertino, and Harker in their next 3 games. Very winnable before they travel to Gunn. Could be tricky. Monte Vista, Fremont, and Lynbrook, a couple quality teams on that list. But after tonight, they have few opportunities, few games in a row where they could have a legitimate chance to potentially at least be in the game until the end or pick up the win at the end. Here, it's 3rd and 5 for Mountain View, leading by 2 touchdowns at the 25 of Los Altos. Jones in the backfield, and then Colbury on the quarterback keeper, and that had no chance of working. Tackled in the backfield, a huge stop by big number 6 Matt Kleiman. Linebacker came shooting in on his gap blitz and brought him down back at the 32, loss of 7. Fisher Colbury took the snap. It was a design quarterback run all the way. And in a play like that, you need some good blocking up front. But that time, Los Altos brought more defenders than Mountain View could possibly block. So that play would have not worked no matter what in that scenario. Here, it's good 4th and 13 from the 33, and Mountain View's going for it. And back to pass goes Fisher Colbury. Has time, has lots of time, throws down the middle, wide open, caught Marcus Jones, makes him in, 1 man to beat, makes the tackle, touchdown! 3rd of the half for Marcus Jones. 33-yard hookup from Fisher Colbury to Marcus Jones. Back to pass was Fisher Colbury. Lobbed one, and that was, they were playing zone defense with Los Altos, but Jones is such a smart football player and so athletic, he was able to know exactly where the soft spot in the zone are. Sat down at it, Fisher Colbury hooked up with his favorite target, and Jones gets his 3rd touchdown of the game. Kick is up, it is good from Neiman, and with 53 seconds gone by in the second quarter, it's 21-0 Spartans. .11:07 to go, second quarter, 21-0 Mountain View with the lead. And Los Altos has really been dominated ever since that first offensive drive they had, where they were moving the ball very effectively and then had the fumble on that 3rd down play. And who knows if Pena Prado doesn't fumble. If he doesn't, it's going to be 4th down and something, and Los Altos is probably going to go for it, but they could have picked up the 1st down, but potentially got touchdown, and at the time would have tied the game at 7. Instead, he fumbles, Jones recovers, they scored 2 consecutive touchdowns since then. And no onside kick, but a pooch punt kick right now, nearly fumbled, still loose. Did he fumble it? He might have. It's loose. Juggling it for a while was one of the men for Los Altos. But I believe Los Altos recovered. They avoid another disaster on kickoff, and they'll take over at their own 31-yard line. Los Altos has just gone the wrong direction ever since that fumble. It's like the wheels of an engine keep start spinning off, and they can't stop it. Right now, they need to stop it if they want to hang around and have a chance to win in the second half. Still a long way to go, but they're going to need to turn around their offense now. And on the snap, we have whistles. Flag thrown. Looked like somebody flinched on the Los Altos offensive line. This will not help their cause. So we'll bring up 1st and 15 at their own 26-yard line. And this is not the type of offense that can get behind the down and distance and be effective with it, because they're a ball control type of offense, and they don't get the big play very often. Let's just put it that way. Landman on a design roll to his left. Now we'll throw it deep downfield and got his man, Conrad Rogers, swung out of bounds at the 40. A pickup of 14 will bring him 2nd and a yard. His first time hooking up with his tight end Rogers, his favorite target normally for Landman. And that time on a design roll to the left, threw a bullet right to Conrad Rogers. Rogers is tough to miss because he's a huge target at 6'4", and Landman was able to find him that time. 2nd and about 1 at their own 40, long one. Landman, clapping his hands, comes over center. Split backs in the backfield and stumbling before pitching. It was Landman. Another mistake by Los Altos at the 38, a loss of 2, bring up 3rd and 3. Those are the type of things when you're down 21 that can't happen if you expect to come back. You'll see, it looked like he bobbled the snap and then went to his knees to try to pick it up in the air, and then just went down to a knee to get it, and this isn't the NFL, so once you're down, you're down. Only in the NFL do you need to be touched to be down. So it's now going to bring up 3rd and 3 at their own 38. One wide receiver to each side, split backs in the backfield, and Landman to throw with a flag down, and it is dropped, but let's see what the flag's all about. It was intended for Victor Ruiz, and if he catches it, he has the first down, but let's see if they catch a break. Did somebody line up offsides on Mountain View? That's the question. It's not going to be a false start. It's going to be an illegal formation against Los Altos. I'm probably going to decline this penalty as Mountain View. Bringing up a 4th and 3 at their own 38-yard line. No, actually, they're going to back them up. So it's going to bring up 3rd and 8 at their own 33-yard line. I'm not sure why they would do that, but let's see. The reason I say that is because there isn't a great chance that Los Altos would be going for it down by 21 on 4th and 3 inside their own territory. But Mountain View just elected to take the penalty. Here's 3rd and 8 at their own 33. 2 wide receivers to each side. Landman out of the shotgun, takes the snap, back to pass, under pressure, and then gets swarmed under and sacked. Back at the 25-yard line, a loss of 8. 4th and 16 coming up, and now it's going to force a punting situation. You'll see Landman back to pass, and he had no chance. Offensive linemen were attacked immediately by the defensive line and linebackers of Mountain View. And as stepping up was Landman, he got swarmed under immediately and sacked. So maybe that's why the Spartans decided to take the penalty. Now it forces a punt from Borrego Patino, the punter and kicker. And there's a high snap. He grabs it and then gets a low wide drive kick that goes out of bounds at the 40. It'll go as a 25, or make that a 15-yard punt. That was a bad play all the way around. A very high snap, and Borrego Patino did a great job just to get the kick off as he got crushed. And it's going to be running into the kicker. So chances are they're going to take the 5 yards and try to punt again. Wow. That was a bad play all the way around for Los Altos, and they get rewarded by running into the kicker penalty. It was the right call, but man, Los Altos has not played well. That's an understatement. Ever since. No, now they're changing it to roughing the kicker, and that will give them an automatic first down. 15-yard penalty out to the 41. Wow. That didn't look like roughing to me, but the referee said it was. It was a high snap, kicking it. That was more the 5 yard, I think. It was more of a little bump, call the penalty, but give it 5 yards and make Los Altos repunt. I don't know. That was a rough call. Maybe if Los Altos is only down 7, they might call running in the kicker. I don't know. But here's an ugly play on a toss coming right to Trembois, and he gets tackled back at the 38, a loss of 3. And it'll bring up 2nd and 13. Landman tosses it to Trembois, and he just got swarmed immediately. I mean, right now, Mountain View's defensive line and offensive line are winning on either side of the ball, points of attack. And 9 times out of 10 in football games, if both of your lines are being that dominant, you're going to win. No matter how skilled your other players are, because if they can't block anybody and your quarterback doesn't have any time, it doesn't matter if he's Tom Brady, he won't be able to find anybody. And there's a lob and a drop with a flag down. So right now Los Altos is out of sync in every single way. That was a pass that should have been caught by Kleiman and get at least 5 or 6 yards out of it. Instead he drops it, it'll bring up 3rd and 13. But let's see what the flag is about. That's 3rd and 13 if the penalty is against Los Altos and Mountain View decides to decline it, and instead there's no flag. So not sure why they threw a flag in the first place, but it could have been a holding penalty that they decided was not a holding penalty or something like that. What I do know is that it's 8:24 to go in the first half, 21-0 Mountain View with the lead. 3rd and 13 is the down and distance for Los Altos at their own 38. They need the Mountain View 49 for a first. Over center is Lamon. Design roll to the left. Lucky, deep down left sideline. Has a man out there, but overthrows everybody. It was a man out there, but he wasn't open. Victor Ruiz, the intended target, on a 4th and 13. Looks like Los Altos is going to have to punt again, and right now they're just chucking it, which is not what they excel at. That's the problem sometimes when getting down by big deficits early. You think you have to chuck it all over the field to come back. And while that would be the quickest way to come back, it's not the only way, especially with this much amount of game left. So now Trembois back in the punt. Let's see if the snap's more effective this time. And now we have whistles. Right now this game has no flow to it at all. There are whistles on every play. And we have a timeout called by Mountain View. So right now Mountain View has one timeout left in the half. KMVT Sports would like to thank Homestead Senior Care for their continuing support of high school sports programming. Homestead, to them, it's personal. 8:20 to go in the first half. Mountain View has scored 3 touchdowns in this game. One 20-yard run by Marcus Jones in the first quarter. A 6-yard run by Marcus Jones in the first quarter. And then here in the opening moments of the second quarter, a 33-yard touchdown pass from Will Fisher-Colbury to Marcus Jones. Jones is accounted for all 3 touchdowns. Fisher-Colbury has a touchdown pass. Marcus Jones also has a fumble recovery and return for 54 yards. The only turnover in the game thus far was to Los Altos. And you see, when you lose the turnover battle, you're not going to win very often. Although you think down by 21 with still 8:20 to go in the second quarter, Los Altos will have more than just 1 turnover. There's a bad snap. We must have Travis Gaethel as the long snapper. And then Trembois gets crushed. It's picked up and scored. Mountain View touchdown. And this game is getting really ugly for Los Altos. A bad snap over the head. Second bad snap. This time it was farther over the head of Trembois, and then as he tried to dive on it, just get crushed by one of the linemen. It was then picked up by number 34, Chad Schomburg, and he ran it in for 8 yards and a touchdown. 27-0. Mountain View with the lead. 8:18 to go, second quarter. Now what are they saying? We have late substitution running. Actually, they thought it was a touchdown, but apparently you can't advance a muffed snap. No, it was a touchdown. They had weird substitutions. It was a touchdown, 27-0. Snap is down. Neiman's kick is good. And so after some bad long snapping in the punt area, Mountain View scored another touchdown. It's getting away from Los Altos now with 8:18 to go for its half and 28-0. 8:18 to go in the second quarter. 28-0. Mountain View with the lead. And this it looks more and more like a game that's going to have a running clock in the second half. The new rule is mandatory 35-point or greater lead if you're going to have a running clock in the fourth quarter. Both coaches agree to it. You can have it for the entire second half. Here's Neiman's kick, and it will end up as a touchback and come out to the 20-yard line for Los Altos. Right now, they are not playing well at all. They started off the game fired up like all rivalry games do. Fired up, playing well. Mountain View did score, but it was a tough, long 71-yard drive for the Spartans. Then Los Altos got the kickoff, came back, had a great drive going. Who knows if they scored a touchdown on that drive? This game could be completely different. But what happened is they threw a pass to Pena Prado on a third down. He fumbles it. Picked up by Marcus Jones, one of the defensive backs for Mountain View, runs down the other way, and a couple of plays later, they score a touchdown, make it 14-0, and from there, it has been all Mountain View. And more dysfunction from Los Altos. They have to call a timeout off of a kickoff when you just had a timeout earlier. This is becoming more and more nightmarish for the Eagles. 8:18 in the second quarter. This has felt like an eternity in this quarter with all the lack of flow. I mean, no other way to put it. A lot of flags thrown, a lot of incomplete passes, a lot of just weird stuff going. I mean, you have 2 punt attempts by Los Altos. Both times the long snapper snaps it over the head of the punter. One of those times they got bailed out with a roughing the kicker penalty that was very generous. And then the second time it was just snapped way over the head of the punter, and that was recovered and returned for a touchdown. Now after the timeout, it's 1st and 10 from their own 20. Landman back to pass. Looks, fires left flat, going to need to make the catch is Pena Prado at the 21. Gain of a yard, it will bring up 2nd and 9. Right now, Landman is not thinking about any runs. Right now, in fact, Los Altos coaching staff has pretty much eliminated 3/4 of their playbook because they aren't doing any running plays of any kind. That first drive they did, but once they got down 14-0 and then off the onside kick got down 21-0 before their offense ever got the ball back, they've just been pass, and let's pass some more. And that's not their forte. So they're going to struggle in this area. And as long as this continues to happen, they're not going to get back into this game. 7.5 to play first half. Landman out of shotgun, looks, fires left flat, miscommunication, incomplete, looking for Pena Prado again. It looked like Pena Prado was running a flanker streak deep across the left sideline, the far sideline. But what Landman threw was a quick out. So miscommunication, and it will bring up 3rd and 9. I could give Los Altos the benefit of the doubt and say that was an option route, because what happens is an option route, basically the receiver or the tight end has an option. That's why it's called an option route for 3 or 4 different routes, and based on how the defense is playing them, that's how they choose. So it could be miscommunication based on that. But the way the offense had looked in this first half, probably not the case. Landman now under pressure, throws high and wide, incomplete. Bring a 4th down and force another punt. 7:22 to go in the first half. 28-0 Mountain View with the lead. Fourth and 9 at their own 22. Let's see if they can snap the football back to the punter. That would be a good start. Trembois back to receive the snap. Waiting at his own 10-yard line. Oh, it's a good snap this time, and the kick gets it away. High end over end, driving Avery back and picked up at the 40-yard line. Coming left, gets a good block at the 45. Cuts left, makes a man miss up midfield at the 45, and breaks another tackle, stays in bounds, spins to the 25, and gets wrestled down at the 21. Or did he step out earlier? They're going to mark him back at the 32-yard line, but still a great return by Avery. It'll go for 28 yards, and Mountain View starts deep in the territory of Mountain View. You'll see it was a great punt by Trembois, driving Avery back, but sometimes you can outkick your coverage, and that's what happened there. But even still with that, Avery was able to make 3 or 4 special teamers miss. Another poor job of tackling from Los Altos. That's why he was able to get as large a return as it was. Large return of 28 yards. That large. One thing that's going to definitely need to improve for Los Altos is their tackling. It has not been good in this first half. Fisher Colbury over center, back to pass, looks, rolls right, under pressure, steps up, eludes tacklers, now spins into a couple defenders. It wasn't a designed quarterback run, but that's what it turned into. He gets swung down at the 29, a gain of 4, or make that 3. It'll bring up 2nd and 7. And Fisher Colbury lost a shoe and a towel. Let's see, Colbury went back to pass and then he bailed too early though. Now looking at the replay, I thought he had pressure in the backfield immediately. That was not the case. He was well protected. All he needed to do was step inside the pocket and look for an open receiver. He bailed out too early, which in terms of young quarterback play, that definitely can be a tendency. But as you get more experience in the position, that's something you'll learn to do more effectively. Here's a deep pass, and he's wide open. It's caught by Johnson. Austin Johnson catches it down at the 5-yard line, a gain of 24 from Fisher Colbury to Austin Johnson. You'll see Fisher Colbury out of the shotgun again, went back to pass, and he didn't look to anybody else other than Johnson. Knew pre-snap, based on how the defense was playing, that he was going to go to Johnson, targeted Johnson, and there was nothing that the quarterbacks could do because they were right on his hip, but the throw was perfect, and Johnson is a skilled enough wide receiver to make any sort of adjustment to the football. It's first and goal at the 5 now. I formation in the backfield. Over center is Fisher Colbury. The motion goes one of the tight ends, Johnson. The other Johnson, Scott Johnson. Now they hand off to Schumberg toward the goal line, and he's in. Touchdown, Mountain View. And now they have blown this game wide open. It's 34-0 with 5:50 to go in the first half. You'll see Schumberg, he lines up in the backfield at the running back that time, and he went off left guard, a power play. They call that the halfback power. Just following his blockers, they open up a wide hole from him, and that's what I was talking about earlier in the game about how Mountain View on both sides of the ball dominating the line of scrimmage. Right there, they were pushing Los Altos back towards the goal line. The defensive line was almost in the end zone by the time Schomburg scored with the extra point, and 5:50 to go in the first half. It is Mountain View 35, Los Altos nothing. 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go in this very long first half. Mountain View has just dominated this game from the opening kickoff. And from pretty much the first snap on offense, as they got the ball first to start the game, they just were steamrolled Los Altos in every facet of the game. Now we're waiting for the new football to get teed up. But it's 35-0 Mountain View. Mountain View has scored on every offensive possession they've had, all 4. Their 5th touchdown coming off a fumbled snap on an attempted punt by Los Altos that was returned for a touchdown. Mountain View has not scored on any possession. And Los Altos has only had one drive of any significance, but that was a fumbling at the Mountain View 29-yard line by Peña Prada when they had on their first possession of the game, when it looked like they had something cooking. Now here's Neiman's kickoff, low line drive, fielded by Rivera at the 5, comes up the right sideline to the 10, across the 15, has a seam across the 25, and gets spun down right at the 25. A good 20-yard return by Carlos Rivera. That is pretty much the best play Los Altos has had of the game, other than that Victor Ruiz 30-yard catch on the first drive for Los Altos. You'll see Rivera gets it. He juggles it initially, but then comes up the right sideline, made a man miss, and then got spun down at the 25. A pretty good kickoff coverage, though, too, from Mountain View. A couple of their men got blocked, but then they were able to get into the ground with relative ease. 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line for Los Altos. Let's see if they can avoid a 3-and-out this time and actually get a drive going. They're being shut out 35-0. In their last almost 6 quarters, they've been outscored 105-0. That's not something to be proud of. Landman is out of shotgun, 2 wide receivers to each side. On his hip is Ayat. Back to pass, and Landman under pressure immediately and gets sacked. That's nothing new. The defensive line was in the backfield pretty much at the snap. It's almost like the defense for Mountain View knows the plays that are going to be run before they actually run. The Mountain View is clicking on all cylinders right now. I mean, look at, I don't even need to explain that replay to know that the quarterback had no chance. I mean, Landman, he didn't have a chance to get to his first read by the time he was on the ground. It's like he's trying to play the quarterback position right now from his seat of his pants. And that is not going to work no matter who you are playing quarterback. Out of the shotgun goes Landman on 2nd and 15. They'll go back to pass, throws to the left flat, bad throw this time. Looking for Ulysses Pena Prado incomplete. I'll bring up 3rd and 15 with 4:43 to go in the half. Three touchdowns for Marcus Jones, one from Schumberg and one on special teams for Mountain View. No points up there for Los Altos. They have now been outscored this season so far, 158-8 through their first 2 games and not even 2 quarters. 3rd and 15 from their own 20. Out of the shotgun goes Landman. They took a long time getting out of that huddle. One receiver to each side. Landman back to pass, looking, throws across the middle, and is caught by Connor running to tight end, but he will not have a first down as a flag comes flying in late, and it looks like they're going to call targeting, which is a new rule here in football, which you can't lead with your helmet. But if you look at this replay, I'm pretty sure you're going to see all shoulder. Let's see. Oh no, it was helmet. That is a good call. It was helmet-to-helmet contact. You can hit at the helmet as long as you don't lead with the helmet. But that time, the defensive back, Jake Butters, one of the linebackers actually, led with his helmet. So that will get the 15 yards tacked on to the end of the run. A pass completion of 13 plus the 15-yard penalty makes it a 28-yard gain all told, and is brought out to the 49-yard line of Los Altos, their own 49, with 4:38 and winding down the first half. That is the best play in terms of total yards that they've had all game to this point. Landman is coming up over center. Pretty much what I've seen in this first half is that Los Altos is not going to be able to move the ball unless Mountain View helps them with penalties like that, because it would have been 4th down without that penalty. And it really was not a necessary penalty. Rogers was going to get tackled either way. Here's a swing pass out there to Pena Prado, and he gets swung down and actually dropped the football. They're going to call it incomplete. It will bring up 2nd and 10. I can't remember the last time Los Altos did a run play. I mean, they are passing on every single play. And the snap wasn't good, and then Pena Prado was trying to run before he ever secured the football. That's never going to work. And it'll bring up 2nd and 10. So right now, Los Altos has to do something to get on the scoreboard here before halftime. Something. They will get the ball first to begin the second half, but none of that will matter if they're down 35 or 42-0. 2nd and 10 at their own 49, 51 yards away from getting a touchdown. One wide receiver to each side. Landman now audibles out to his wide receiver on the left. That's Pena Prado. And back to pass. Landman under pressure. Looks, hit as he throws in the right flat, and it's caught. Complete, and being swung down is Victor Ruiz. Right at the 40-yard line, gain of 11. It will bring up 1st and 10 and move the chains. You'll see Landman got immediate pressure, but this time, instead of just going down, felt the pressure and rolled away from it so that he was able to make an accurate throw, and it was caught for an 11-yard gain. 3:45 and counting to go in the first half. A long first half at that. 35-0 in favor of Mountain View. Landman comes up over center. 2 wide receivers left, 1 to the right side. 1 back in the backfield. 1 tight end, it's Rogers. And a desire roll to the left, under pressure immediately, and going down. Anthony, or make that not Avery. It's number 41, Nafe Latu, one of the linebackers. I said Avery because initially it looked like number 11, but instead it was number 41 getting the sack, and it was Latu. He destroyed the center. That was big number 76, David Davis, and he had no chance. I mean, Davis should have done a better job blocking Latu. And Latu just shot the gap immediately and brought down Lamon. Lamon couldn't have done anything better on that play. Here's 2nd and 15 at the 45 of Mountain View. Out of the shotgun is Lamon. 2 wide receivers inside. Back to pass. Under pressure. Heaves one. Has a man open. It is dropped. And it would have been a touchdown to Ulysses Pena Prado. Wow. A perfect throw from Landman as he just got crushed as he threw it. And Pena Prado had a touchdown, dropped it, and is going to get replaced because of that. You'll see under pressure, Landman makes a perfect throw. And that's the 2nd drop on the drive from Pena Prado. So this time he's thinking about how great he was going to celebrate for a touchdown if he got it, if he made the catch, but that never happened. I mean, it is kind of a big deal when they score a touchdown this season for Los Altos. They have one coming, and they've almost played 2.5 games, and they have 1 touchdown this year. So in that aspect, it is a big deal. But you still, in order to get a touchdown, have to catch the football first, and that's what Pena Prado failed to do. 35-0 Mountain View. Lamon now goes over to Rogers, who lines up as a wide receiver to the slot to the left side and whispers something in his ear. Out of the shotgun goes Lamon on 3rd and 15. And he's back to pass, looking, pump fakes, under pressure, bails out of there, and then we'll taken down and sacked. Sam Parker, big D tackle, gets the sack, and he's pumped up because of it. Back at the 47, a loss of 2. They'll bring up 4th and 17. Lamon had no chance there either, and now reluctantly the Los Altos team is sending on the punting unit. So far they've had 1 punt successful and 3 chances, 2 muffed snaps. 1, they got the punt away after it was almost got blocked and then got called, the Mountain View did, for roughing the kicker. The other one just was way over the head of the punter and got returned for a touchdown by Mountain View. 4th and 17 at the 47. And this time it will be Carlos Rivera to punt instead of Trent Bois. Anthony Avery waiting back deep. Under 1.5 minutes to play first half, and almost getting it blocked was Rivera. This is a high end-over-end kick. Avery waving away all the Mountain View Spartan team members to avoid a fumble. And it's goes down at the 12. So that's a 35-yard punt by Rivera. Nothing on the turn. And that will bring up 1st and 10 for Mountain View with 1:16 to go in the first half. Let's see if Mountain View tries to get really crazy and score another touchdown here before halftime, or just kneel on it. If it were me, I would try to go score more points. There's no reason to think you can't. You've scored a touchdown in every drive you've had. So let's see what they decide to do. It looks like they're going to be trying to get more points. 2 wide receivers set, split backs in the backfield. See what they actually try to do. Fisher Colbury over center. Toss play coming left. Maybe they're trying to run out the clock. Schoenberg with it. Breaking the tackle. Still breaking tackle. He will go out of bounds at the 20. So that is a gain 2nd and 2 coming up. It stops the clock with 70 seconds to go in the first half. So you'll see on Schoenberg's carry, it went to the left. And he was lucky to get tripped out of bounds at the 20. Otherwise, it would have been running further. And now we have a timeout called by Los Altos. So 1:10 to go, 2nd quarter. And Mountain View leads 35-0. "70 seconds remaining first half. 35-0 Mountain View with the lead. Fisher Colbury out of the shotgun on 2nd and 2 from their own 20. 2 wide receivers right, 1 on the left side, and back to pass is Fisher Colbury looking for it all deep down the left side. The man wide open. It is caught all the way to the 30, 25, 20, 10, 5. Touchdown to Ulysses Pena Prado. 80-yard strike. Fisher Colbury to Prado, and it's 41-0. You'll see back to pass is Fisher Colbury, and he just lobbed it up there. No chance for the defensive backs to catch him once he got behind the defensive backs. And it's getting really out of hand for Los Altos. It's about to be 42-0 with 59.5 seconds to go in the first half. The only thing Mountain View hasn't done right tonight was know which team is supposed to be out there for extra points. But other than that, they've been flawless. That's how good you should realize Sacred Heart Prep is. Beating this Mountain View team 27-3. When Mountain View's look tonight, you have to have a very good team to begin with and then play extremely well to have that kind of an outcome. And we have another timeout call. Wow, this game has no flow. We'll be back. 59.5 seconds to go. It's 41-0 Mountain View. $41-0 Mountain View with the lead. Now, after some timeout on an extra point, they're going to kick it.
1, 2, 3.
And it's good. So 59.5 seconds to go. It's all Mountain View leading 42-0. Los Altos has just not showed up tonight. Not that they have much chance to win if they had, but they have not played a good first half at all, even by their standards. I mean, they've had muffed snaps, muffed punts, fumbled snaps, bad kicks, allowing receivers to run wide open down the field. So down by 42, they are pretty much out of this game with 59 seconds to go in the first half. KMVT Sports presenting sponsors the Palo Alto Medical Foundation, part of the Sutter Health Network. Choose your PAMP doctor today. Now getting it teed up is the backup quarterback Chauncey Neiman. Neiman has it teed up. Back deep is Rivera and Ayat. Neiman approaches his right foot into this one, and it's high, end over end, coming down to Rivera at the goal line, comes up the left side, and they're going to call a touchback. Maybe there's some automatic touchback rule when, I guess there is, when the kick goes into the end zone. Here in high school, there's an automatic touchback rule, so that's why they call it a touchback. We'll bring it out to the 20-yard line. I'd be surprised if they tried to get any points before halftime. They should probably kneel on this one and take this one in the locker room. Let's see what they actually try to do. First and 10 at their own 20-yard line, trailing by 42. Landman comes up over center. It appears, based on their formation, that they're going to run the clock out. One here to each side. Showing blitz is Mountain View. They hand off to Rivera, and he is swarmed under, driven backwards at the 20. No gain. It will bring up 2nd and 10. They need to run just one more snap before we can take this into halftime. A very, very long first half with all the amount of points, incomplete passes, penalties, flags, stuff. I don't even know how to describe some of the stuff we've had in this first half. Just stuff. Los Altos came out strong at the beginning of the game. Looked like they might make this interesting. Turns out that has not been the case. Here's a handoff, Rivera, right side. That will be the final play of the first half. A first half that saw Mountain View score on all 5 of their offensive possessions, and in addition to that, get a fumbled snap on a punt and return it for a touchdown. In this rivalry game between two schools separated by not that many miles, it is Mountain View Spartans all over the Los Altos Eagles, 42-0.
As a busy mom of 3 kids, I find it extremely convenient to access My Health Online. My Health Online's messaging service allows me to keep in close contact with our doctor.
Being able to email the doctor with questions gave us assurance that they do take an interest in the patients. That's why we've been with PAN for more than 10 years and keep adding members, the newest member.
My parents are really slowing down. I feel bad I can't always be there for them.
How do I choose between caring for my mother and caring for my own family?
I've been looking into the options, but Dad doesn't want to leave his home. What do I do?
Struggling to care for an aging parent? You're not alone. Learn how Home Instead Senior Care can provide the personalized in-home care your loved one needs. Home Instead. To us, it's personal.
Well, we are back here to Foothill College. Again, everybody, I'm Andrew Fury. Glad you could join us tonight as it will be Los Altos to receive first, trailing 42-0 as we begin this second half. Chauncey Neiman approaches the ball, and his right foot is a one-line drive, fielded by Ayat, not fielded. He dropped it, now picks it up at the 1. He comes up the left side to the 10, across the 15, and gets swarmed under and dropped at the 16, a 15-yard return. So that's where Los Altos will start. With 11:54 to go, third quarter. They're not doing the running clock, at least not right now. Apparently they're waiting till the fourth quarter to implement. Now they start it. So they are going to do the running clock with the difference being greater than 35 points during the second half. For some reason, the clock operator didn't want to. But clock continues to run. Los Altos down by 42. They have not scored since the fourth quarter of their first game. Out of the shotgun goes Landman. And back to pass goes Landman. Under pressure, Lux, and he gets dropped. Sack. And it will bring up second and very long. Back at the 10, it will bring up second and 18. So, at least initially, there was more of the same here in the second half to what it was in the first half. As Will Fisher-Colbury continues to loosen on the sideline, the Mountain View quarterback. Second and 18. Los Altos had a pretty good first drive in the first quarter, but then it resulted in a fumble, and since then, it's been all downhill. And they hand off. Here is Trembois, and he will get swarmed under and tackled. Bodies flying everywhere. Trembois slow to get up, and it was a gain of 2. We'll bring up third and 16. You'll see Trembois got the carry, and then as he went around the right side, just got shouldered and dropped to 12, just a 2-yard gain. Now it doesn't look like Los Altos is gonna, their only goal in this half is not to come back and win, play like a perfect second half and all that, just to try to improve so that they can fare better next week. They didn't run a single running play or a called single running play in the entire second quarter. Here's Lamb to throw deep down the left sideline, and it's incomplete. Looking for Conrad Rogers, the tight end. And with 9:45 and counting to go in the third quarter, it's 42-0. And it will force a punting situation from Los Altos. In this game, they've gotten a 20-yard touchdown run by Jones, a 6-yard touchdown run by Jones, a 33-yard touchdown pass from Fisher-Colbury to Marcus Jones, an 8-yard fumble return for a touchdown, and then a 80-yard touchdown pass from Fisher-Colbury to Pena Prado. Easy for me to say. 4th and 16 at their own 12, and here's a punt formation from Los Altos. Now they're backing up as we had some sort of penalty. What the hell? Because if there was a penalty that would have been accepted, there would have been a repeat of third down. So this is getting very confusing. I'm confused what they called. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a punt anyway, and it's blocked. And then field hit by one of the fullbacks. That's number 22, Matt Nero, and he gets tackled at the 12. So just when he thought things couldn't get worse for the Eagles, they do. And it will be Mountain View's ball, 1st and 10 at the 12. It was a pretty good snap. You can't fault the snap. It was just bobbled by the punter Rivera. And then as he approached, put the foot into the ball, no blocks from the D line, and it got blocked. So 1st and 10 at the Los Altos 12. Slow walk to the line for Fisher Colbury with the running clock here in the second half. No hurry at all for the Spartans. Both wide receivers out wide left. In motion with the fullback Schoenberg, and they give it to Jones left side. He eludes a man in the backfield and then gets swarmed under and driven backwards. At the 15, loss of 3. It will bring up 2nd and 13. Marcus Jones is one of his very few carries tonight that has resulted in negative yardage. 2nd and 12, we'll call it, at the 14. Trying to get their 7th touchdown of the game, 6th touchdown and 6 offensive possessions. A toss coming right. Here is Jones with a couple flags down. He will get in for a touchdown, but there are 2 flags down. See what the markers are all about. I said Jones, it was actually Frank Myers, the backup running back, with the carry. As Myers got the toss, and he, again, poor tackling by Los Altos, and got a couple missed tackles to score the touchdown, but it's going to be coming back because of a holding penalty against the Spartans. So we have, it will bring up 2nd and 23 from the 25-yard line of Los Altos. Fisher Colbury coming over center. This probably is a game where you'll see later this quarter and into the 4th quarter, the reserves get in the game for Mountain View, and really both teams. And now a delayed pitch to Jones, who makes a man miss. Down the left sideline to the 10, 5, touchdown Mountain View. 25-yard touchdown run for Marcus Jones. On an option play coming left from Fisher Colbury to Marcus Jones. 48-0 Spartans. You'll see it was out of the shotgun formation that faked it to Schoenberg, and then the running back, it was a really weird flip by Fisher Colbury because he waited until he was almost, his knees were touching the turf to flip it, and everything has gone right tonight for Mountain View. And that flip worked out. That was a very dangerous play. The extra point is good. And with 5:14 and counting to go 3rd quarter, it's 49-0 Mountain View. 4:25 and counting to go 3rd quarter, as we do have a running clock now, with Mountain View leading 49-0 over Los Altos. Chauncey Neiman will kick it off, his 8th kickoff of the game, and has done a very good job in this. His one onside kick attempt tonight was even successful. Right-footed kicker, as high school kickoffs are from the 40-yard line. College and NFL kickoff from the 35 now. And here's the high end-over-end kick that will, Los Altos will let bounce and go out of the end zone. So starting at the 20-yard line are the Eagles. It's been a very fast-paced game with all the moving clock, or fast-paced quarter rather, with the moving clock after a very slow first half with all the flags, penalties, incomplete passes. But now with the moving clock, it runs no matter what. 1st and 10, 3rd and 20. Los Altos needs to find a way to at least get some points in this game, just to give them a little like confidence that they are obviously lacking at the moment. They're like a boxer that just got knocked out. Out of the shotgun goes Landman, under 3 minutes to play third quarter. Now he motions the running back to the other side of him. One receiver to each side. Landman back to pass. Halftime. Looks. Pass deflected. And incomplete. Dangerous when it gets deflected like that. It could very easily end up in an interception with a fluttering pass like that. But no defender was near the ball when it got deflected. So it goes incomplete. They'll bring up full or 2nd and 10. Yeah, just a great read by the lineman, the D end over there, number 90, Adam Lange. Got a big pop with his left hand and knocked it down, because what you're taught as a defender is if you're unable to get to the quarterback and you start throwing in a intersection, get a hand up. See if you can get the passes break up that way. And that time Lange was able to do that. 2nd and 10 at their own 20. Out of the shotgun goes Landman. Takes the snap, back to pass, under pressure, throws, and again it's batted down by Lange. 3rd and 10 coming up. That's exactly what Lange is trying to do. You'll see Lange around or the pressure, great swim move. You saw the right tackle for Los Altos try to block Lange, and Lange did a swim move and got a pop, and again deflected the pass, and now timeout called by Los Altos. See if they stop the clock or not. And with this break, we'll tell you that this game is brought to you by Home Instead Senior Care. Home Instead, to them, it's personal. And the Palo Alto Medical Foundation. Choose your PAMF doctor today. And by Home Instead Senior Care. Home Instead, to them, it's personal. So we do stop the clock for timeouts. Minute 18 to go in the third quarter. But everything else is going to be a running clock. Los Altos called timeout here before 3rd and 10 at their own 20. Not exactly sure why. Maybe it's for in case they're down 7 at this point later in a football game this season. This is mostly just to work through. It's going to be a glorified practice through the next 13 minutes and 18 seconds of football, as both teams are going to try to work out on find out what they need to work on in the upcoming weeks. To try and improve. Here's Landman back to pass, under pressure, rolls right, now he'll run and slide down right at the 24-yard line, and it will bring up 2nd and 6, or make that 4th and 6. I don't know why I said 2nd down at all. A minute and counting to go in the third quarter. And another punting situation coming up here for Los Altos.
Los Altos to punt.
Santos will punt with Carlos Rivera. Trimboa had the first 3 opportunities to punt, 2 of which were fumbled snaps. So he got removed. And one of the backup running backs, Carlos Rivera, is now into punt. He's done a nice job with the right boot. And here's a low line drive kick. Immediately fair caught for. And then letting it bounce is Pena Prado, being downed at the 39-yard line by Michael Adams. So starting at their own 39 is Mountain View. They've been perfect offensively, literally perfect offensively, having scored on every offensive possession. That's as good as it gets. 18.7 seconds should be the final play of this first quarter with the running clock. So even on an incomplete pass or something like that, or even a touchdown, this should be the final play of the first quarter, or third quarter. As now Fisher Colbury comes up over center. 1 wide receiver to each side. Now they need to get another man on. It's Scott Johnson. Johnson gets on late, but is the second tight end in the formation, and they hand off to Myers up the gut, and he gets dropped at the 40, gain of a yard. Will bring up 2nd and 9 as we wind down the third quarter. We have played 36 minutes of football now. Mountain View has scored on all 6 offensive possessions, ending up in touchdowns. Also have a fumble recovery for a touchdown, and after 3 quarters, it's Mountain View 49 and Los Altos nothing. Ready to start the fourth quarter here from Foothill College as we are in a blowout, 49-0 in favor of Mountain View. There's a big run by Myers, and he takes it all the way to the Los Altos 41-yard line. That's a pickup of 18. And then first down for Mountain View. They're going to actually spot him at the 40. Gain of 19. We will still have a running clock in this fourth quarter as Mountain View leads 49-0. Mountain View scored 14 in the first, 21 in the second, or make that 28 in the second quarter, and then 7 in the third quarter for a total of 49 points. They scored a touchdown on every offensive possession so far. 1st and 10 at the 40 of Los Altos. Coming up to the line slowly. Very slowly, in fact, is Fisher Colbury. Wants to take as much clock off as possible, and I don't think Los Altos will complain one bit either after the way this game has gone. Smoothbacks in the backfield. They hand off up the gut to Rivera, and he gets dropped, or make that Jorge Hernandez. He gets dropped at the 35 as the flag flies in. Let's see what the marker's about. It's going to be holding against Mountain View to back them up 10 yards. It's going to bring up 1st and 20 instead of 2nd and 5.
Some more first half statistics. The statistics up to date.
A lot of penalties in this game. I know it's an early season game, but there have been far too many penalties on both teams, but especially Los Altos. They have been flagged a ton. Mountain View a fair amount. That's the only time they've been stopped defensively and offensively and on special teams is when they've hurt themselves with penalties or dumb mistakes, dumb play defensively. Here's Butters in motion on 1st and 20. Fisher Colbury to throw. And rolls right and looks and throws into the right flat. Caught by Pena Prado, and then gets ripped out of bounds at the 48. Los Altos, a gain of 2. We'll bring up 2nd and 18.
Brings in the Fisher Colbury pass. Michael Anderson.
You'll see that Fisher Colbury goes back to pass and just bailed out there. Didn't need to. Had tons of time in the pocket, but bailed out of there. And that's when he got heat on and threw into the right flat to Pena Prada. But really well defensed that time by Los Altos. One of the few very good defensive plays they've had in this game. I formation in the backfield. Fisher Colbury over center. One wide receiver to each side. And they hand off. This is a backup running back, Joel Flores. And Flores takes it down to the 41 of Los Altos. Pickup of 7. And then we'll bring up 3rd and 11. And it will not bring up 3rd and 11 because a late flag was thrown and a holding penalty is going to be called against Mountain View again. So they have a couple of penalties, and now they're really going backwards. They have the car going in reverse. It's back at the 41 of Mountain View now. We'll bring up 2nd down and 28. Now, no matter who you are, what kind of offense you run, there aren't a lot of plays to choose from in the book for 2nd and 28. But let's see. It doesn't really matter up by 49 points in the fourth quarter, but I'm just saying, if this was a tight game like a tie game and you're at 2nd and 28, that could create problems. Fisher Colbury hands off to Flores, and Flores moves forward out across the 45 to the 46, still fighting for yards, gets dropped right at the 47-yard line for a gain of 6. Flores, a third-string running back, getting lots of time here in the fourth quarter, in the second half, because of the difference in the score, and he just wants more playing time, coach. He says, put me in. I'm fighting for as many yards as I can possibly get. And he did that time, got a couple of extra yards than he probably should have gotten to the 47 of Mountain View. And it will still bring up third down and a long way. Third down and 23 from their own 47. Fisher Colbury over center, I formation, or a split backs in the backfield rather. Two wide receivers both split out wide left. Fisher Colbury with 7 minutes and counting to play in the fourth quarter will toss it coming left. Here's Butters, the fullback, cuts upfield across midfield, across the 45, and gets spun down at the 44. He'll pick up 9, and it will force Mountain View to punt for the first time in the game. First offensive possession in this game in which they do not score a touchdown offensively. See, on third down and 23 up by 49 points, they're not going to try a whole lot, so they ran a counter sweep with one of the fullbacks, Butters, on that play. He did well to pick up 9 yards, but it's still well short of the first down. It sticks. 6:25 and counting to go. Fourth quarter. And we have a false start. Wow. He just started running downfield. Jorge Hernandez that time will get called for the false start. I mean, he was looking at the snap. Snap never came to Neiman, the punter, and Hernandez just took off running. Well, I guess if you're going to get called for a false start or any penalty for that matter, you might as well get your money's worth. So I'm surprised he didn't just continue to run. It will bring a 4th and 18 at the 49 of Los Altos. And Neiman will have a little more room to work with to try to pin Los Altos inside the 20. A perfect snap to Neiman, and the right-footed kick is low line drive, and getting away from it at the last second is Ayat. Not sure what that was about. He should have just fair caught it and hung on to it. It was right to him, and then like about a couple seconds before the ball arrived to him, he decided that he shouldn't catch it for some reason and just let it fall. So we'll bring up 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line for Los Altos. 5 minutes and counting to go in the game. 49-0 Mountain View with the lead. Most of the crowd that was over on the far section in the Los Altos section has got up and left by now. So that crowd is dwindling by the second. Now we have a timeout called by Los Altos. We'll take a break with 4:41 to go in the fourth. It's 49-0 Mountain View. Okay, so now we are going to count down from 4:41 as soon as the referee whistles the ball ready for play, as it's 49-0 Mountain View. Los Altos with the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 12. And we have the clock running. Here is Paul Hernandez for Los Altos getting a carry, backup fullback and defensive lineman. And he gets a carry out to the 16, gain of 4. And we'll bring up 2nd and 6. I think the scoreboard operator has lost it too, because some of the down and distances aren't right. He currently has 2nd and 10 up on the scoreboard. It should be 2nd and 6 about, or 2nd and 7. Now they correct it. But it's been a long night for everyone involved, including the Los Altos players, while the Mountain View fans and players have had lots of fun. And off to Hernandez again off the right side, pushing forward, still driving forward, and he'll get a first down out of it. What an effort by Paul Hernandez. And he'll bring up 1st and 10. So that was a very good carry by Hernandez. I mean, he's showing he wants more playing time too. First and 10 at their own 23 for the Eagles. Trailing by 7 touchdowns. Landman over center. Right now, Los Altos looks like they just want to run the clock out. There's a handoff to Rivera. and he gets spun down at the 35. Gain of 11 will be a first down. Rivera, and now there's pushing and shoving after the play. Not something that needs to get started with a 49-point game. See Lamb gets the carry, hands off to Rivera, one of the three backs, breaks the tackle, and then right as he was about to turn the corner, right there gets swung around, and an excellent tackle made over there by number 23, Cameron Bice. Very good tackle, good form, everything. Hit him above the shoulders, and there's nothing to complain about by Los Altos there, other than the frustration that they're down by 7 touchdowns to their rival. But there's nothing dirty about that tackle or anything. It was a great form tackle. Center Lamon, hands off to Rivera again. Or actually, he faked it, and Lamon keeps it down the right sideline to the 50, 40, to the 35, 30. Cuts inside to the 25 and dragged down at the 23-yard line. So he fakes everybody out on the bootleg. Best play of the night for the Eagles. You'll see Lamon over center, fake the handoff to Rivera. Everybody in the stadium thought that Rivera had it, except for our cameraman Bill Snow, who did a great job of following Lamon, and by the time he tripped up, he was at the Mountain View 23-yard line. That goes for a run of 42 yards, and they're almost into the red zone for the first time in the game. Minute and a half and counting to go in the game. Let's see if they can score before the game ends. Hands off to Hernandez, right side, big chunk, boom, 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 all the way down to the 18. He doesn't run, he's not the fleetest of foot, but he runs with a purpose. Picks up 5 yards. 2nd and 5 coming up. They're going to have to hurry, though, with this running clock if they want to score before the game is over. We have a minute and counting to go. Lamon over center. Full house backfield. Play action fake. Lamon to throw. Lobs in. Caught. Is he in? No, he's down at the 1. A gain of 17. Caught by Hernandez. Or rather make that Conrad Rogers number 5, not number 55. Anyhow, it's a 17-yard gain, and it'll bring up 1st and goal. Let's see. It was close to getting in. Lamon off-balance throw. Great catch. That is really close. No replay, but they did make the correct call, as we saw in that replay. He did not get in. Now we have a quick snap of something. Commotion. Clock stops with 24.5 seconds to go. Let's see. It was a great catch by Rogers. Got 1, 2, tripped over himself. Down right there. Right there at about the 1.5 yard line. So the referees were on top of that. Great call by the side judge to bring it in and mark him at the 1/2 yard line. And they did the quick snap. Let's see the quick snap. As Lamon going over center, got it, handed off to Hernandez, and he got him for a touchdown. So now they're going to go for 2. And they didn't convert the 2-point conversion. Or rather, correction. Instead of trying to go for 2, they're calling timeout now. Timeout called by Mountain View. So 24.5 seconds to go in the game. It's 49-6 Mountain View. Now we start a 2-point conversion coming up for Los Altos. With 24.5 seconds to go in the game. It's 49-6. Remember Mountain View. Over center's Lamon. He'll play extra bullet coming right. Lobs it. Enzo caught. And the conversion is good to Conrad Rogers. So winner touchdown run by Paul Hernandez. Now the 2-point conversion is good and makes it 49-8 in favor of Mountain View. 24.5 seconds to go. This game's all but over. Very fast-paced, moving second half with the moving clock and everything. But at least Los Altos can take some solace out of this game, knowing that they did score 8 points, a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
There's a tent set up near the entrance.
Pretty much all they need is one kickoff and maybe a kneel down, and this game will be over.
Next on September 27th. against Santa Clara High School at 3.
Los Altos' next game coming up will be September 27th. That's on Thursday night of the next week. Again, they host Santa Clara High School right here at Foothill College. As Mountain View's next game after this will be against San Benito. So that's how the teams shape up. Now they're going to try an onside kick. Here's Rodrigo Patino, bounces one right into the arms of one of the Amen, bringing it the other way. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Mountain View. Scored by Mario Palella. Clock never ran either. Weird stuff's happening now. It's 55-8 Mountain View. They tried the onside kick, it was badly executed, and then Palella got it and just took off. And he scampered in for a touchdown easily. No contest. And clock should have ran that play. Now the referees are discussing about where they should put the clock. Now they're going to say the game's over. It should have ended because of the running clock and the onside kick. So the game has ended on a 55-yard onside kick recovery return for a touchdown. Mountain View got a little bit of everything. They did an excellent job in this game, played flawlessly. Los Altos has major work to do ahead of them, and Mountain View wins this rivalry game 55-8. It was Mountain View from the start. They only scored an offensive touchdown on every possession except for one, and Mountain View wins this going away 55-8. So our director and producer for today's game was Bobby Chastain, and cameras Ted Melke, Tim Erskine, Janet Wu, Bill Snow, Sherilyn Meacham, and a special thanks to Mountain View High School for letting us put on this broadcast. So the game has ended. Mountain View wins this rivalry game and improves to 1-0 in league play by defeating Los Altos High School here tonight at 55-8.